Hello everybody. Today is the August the 5th, 2014. We are meeting in Rasaspain, Latvia. That's the nice place for recreation and yoga. My name is Yogini Rasa. I am yoga instructor of the International Open Yoga University, and all our materials are available on the websites opanyogaclass.com. The site is mainly in Russian, and we are developing the English version that will be available on the site yogaopenyoga.com, and all my lectures will also be available on my website yoginirasa.com. So you're welcome to check all these sites and find useful materials on yoga that you can apply in your everyday life. So if you have seen some of our previous materials, then you have been introduced to the International Open Yoga University, to our Master of Ananda Swami tradition and Open Yoga tradition. You have become familiar with the first and the second yoga principle, as well as other information on the International Open Yoga University online internet classes. You might also not know anything about it, but be interested in the topic, what is yoga? As we predict, you have heard the term yoga and are interested in more detailed, more in-depth analysis of this topic, or also as the possibility to improve your practice. The good thing is that you not always and obligatory have to know what yoga is to make it work, because it works anyway. However, if you know the theoretical and the practical sides of this teaching of the system, then your practice will improve times and times, and you will avoid most of the mistakes that are usually made. So our today's topic will be, what is yoga? Rather simple question, a lot of things to talk about, so get ready. And it will be question and answer based lecture, and you are welcome to send your questions if you have such, that we could find time for them later. So, have you ever thought about the topic, what is yoga? Is it just a simple exercising, or it is some kind of philosophical system, or it is something created by somebody somewhere in the past, or it's just a business fitness program for somebody? Who knows? Where is the difference between the three persons practicing yoga? One extremely flexible, doing asanas almost perfectly, like you would imagine the professional yogi, fitness, or whatever kind of practitioner. The second is rather flexible, but not say that very flexible, and doing good stuff, but not like exaggerating anything. And the third person, usually practicing the thumb, sitting at the television, but also doing some yoga, as they say, and the flexibility is not very good. As you see, we mainly speak about the flexibility, and can you tell who of them is practicing yoga and who is not? Then the answer is rather tricky, because any of them can be yogis and at the same time might be not. And this lecture will help you to understand if any of them is yogi, if I provided enough information for you to be to get the answer on this question, and also telling you how could you evaluate your yoga experience, and if what you do, what you practice, can be called yoga. So then the first question is, what is yoga? And our school of open yoga is telling that yoga is ancient, very kind, very logical, and very harmonious system of self-exploration and exploration of the universe. It means that we not only explore ourselves, but we also work on exploration of the world around us. And it has to happen in a very harmonious way. Yoga is the system that can help you to discover what's already inside you. It means that it doesn't bring you anything new. However, it helps to discover what's already inside you. And it helps you to remove uh, any constraints. It can be physical, so it means that you work with your body. Those can be some aspects of emotional, psychological life, as well as spiritual life. And by this, you become stronger and you become more free. And you also explore everything around you. As I told, this system is ancient, very, very old, centuries and thousands of years. And these are rather practical recommendations of people who have used these things in their life to reach the state of yoga and to explore themselves and world around them. So this is the absorbed, the summarized wisdom of people who have really practiced it and have been very kind to share their knowledge to help us today to rediscover what we have inside. And they have discovered how to maintain our physical and mental health on the very good level, and how to discover hidden strengths inside us. So, and also it will reveal, rediscover the creativity in every person. The basics of any yoga teaching is the harmony. It means that we don't go into extremes. We try to find this middle path. However, it doesn't mean that we just go with the flow wherever it's the easiest way, wherever we can do the lazy stuff. No, actually, it's overcoming our laziness, but we have to do it harmoniously. We have to learn to switch from the time when we enjoy it to the time when we have to kind of force us a little to reach something or goals, but still we do it rather completely harmoniously, not rather, it's more completely harmoniously. And let's take the example of Hatha Yoga. And Hatha Yoga is what we usually know as the physical static yoga. And imagine you do the pose, what they usually call asanas, and you have to feel the joy during the entire process. You feel the joy from the being in a position, like these three yogis. One of them extremely flexible, going to the maximum. The second one going somewhere in the middle, average, and the third one with the rather low flexibility, but they enjoy it. They like to be in this position. And then they find this nice way to enjoy overcoming themselves. But no violence, just enjoyment and harmony. And then This is this way, the wisdom, how to switch from the one method to the other one. And this will be the most difficult thing probably, and one of the challenges. And if you find this harmony in one and the other and switching from the one to another, then you will be rather successful in yoga. So, so we do refuse from extremes, but nobody from outside can tell if you are succeeding or not. Those will be your personal feelings, emotions through the joy. You feel the joy, it's good. You don't feel the joy, no good. If we take a look in ancient texts, that can be rather challenging because we today are not very good in understanding the lifestyle and the way of living and way of expression of the ancient yogis and people living in the far past. Most of us, some of you are very good, very happy for you. Hope you will share the knowledge you have acquired from these texts, because that is the great threat of losing this knowledge just because there is the lost link between the teachers and the students. But if we look in the Yoga Sutra Patanjali, then this method for approximation to the harmony, approaching the harmony, is defined in the terms Chitta, Rita, Nirodha. And it means that in a free translation, we could say it means to stop the occurrence of parasitic thought forms in the mind that is coloring our consciousness. Let me read you once more. To stop the occurrence of parasitic thought forms in the mind that is coloring our consciousness. Wow, impressive, right? How to understand this very, very nice thing. We could, in a flow, it could mean that the flow of thoughts caused by unconscious impressions is responsible for ruining the balance in our lives, and the distance to the harmony increases. Again, so it means that the flow of thoughts caused by unconscious impressions is responsible for ruining the balance in our life, and the distance to harmony increases. You remember 3 terms: Chitta, Rita, Nirodha, in the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, meaning, in a free translation, to stop occurrence of parasitic thought forms in the mind that is coloring our consciousness. And again, translating in more free translation, the flow of thoughts caused by unconscious impressions is responsible for ruining the balance in our life, and the distance to harmony increases. Wow. So, let me give you an example, then you might probably understand this. Can you devote 5 minutes of your time, focus on your top of the nose, and concentrate only on the top of the nose? Even not only the vision, but also your mind. So that there is nothing else, just the top of the nose. Try. Push the pause button, give yourself 5 minutes, and then you can go on. If you have ever tried it, then you can go on. It's not that easy, right? If you have spent a lot of time working on your willingness, your concentration, meditation, then you have probably reached a very good state in this. Still, probably some parasites, some parasitic thought forms are jumping inside and taking you away. Like, what do I have to do today? Oh, tomorrow I have this and this and this. wow, yesterday there was a terrible day, and the one thought, oh, I lost this. Oh, yes, I have to do this and that. Oh, yes, they probably want to go there. Oh, actually, I'm reading the lecture on the what is yoga. Sorry. It's normal for everyday person, but as soon as you learn to give them a certain control, you become much stronger, more effective, not only in your yoga practice, but in your life. Um, then the very essence in the teachings for yoga, there's of course Yoga Sutras Patanjali, but if we look in the very ancient text, then we look to the Vedas, and the description of method related to the notion of Rita um, is fine. Is this method of yoga found in Vedas? So it means this term Rita means has several meanings, like many things. Of course, just to name a few, is cosmic harmony, the law of truth, the principle of freedom, harmonic rhythm of joy and happiness, the law of spirituality, and of course many others. So Rita, if you say Rita to this notion of Rita, it's cosmic harmony. It must be huge harmony. The law of truth, the principle of freedom, harmonic rhythm of joy and happiness, the law of spirituality, and many others. Oh, wow. Imagine you say word Rita, and the ancient yogi is having all this impression of cosmic energy, harmony, and so on and so forth. And it doesn't tell us a thing if we haven't really get in depth of this analysis. But when you start switching these methods, this is just helping us to understand, because a lot of things you have to experience to be able to kind of understand what they are about, to get the notion, to feel them. And the same with Rita. That's why yoga has the first and the second principle. That's why we have this method, the principles of letting it go and a bit forcing ourselves and still feeling the joy. And imagine this all not only inside, the harmony inside you will be only when there will be a harmony around you. So that's the thing to think about. As we say, it's a global harmony, and this principle of Rita is very important in yoga. Yoga, however, is the unification process and the resonance with the law of Rita. Wow, right? Quite a lot. Don't worry if you don't immediately capture these things. It takes years. Usually it takes years of practice and studying of the theory to get the small notions, and they will come as a bricks of the house. Every new thing will nicely lay in this house. Thereby, in the very beginning, when I gave the definition of yoga, I said it is very logical teaching. One takes from the other things. The problem here is that yoga is disappearing, and a lot of things will have to be rediscovered again. For now, for this moment, probably we don't have an access approach to them, but we can rediscover them. And this is the essence of life. And this means when a person that is in yoga called microcosm becomes in a harmony with the universe, the macrocosm. And also in axiomatics of yoga that our school is rather strong in, you learn about these two systems, that's macrocosm and microcosm. And also these are two different approaches to the life. And again, the middle pass, switching from one to another, is the answer that yoga is giving us for using in our life and finding a lot of answers to the questions we have. So, and yoga is very rich with the different terms that we don't use in our everyday life, like yoga, Rita, and also two more is dharma and karma. Dharma is the person's life path in the harmony with the principle of Rita. So, and the consequences of all human actions are called karma. Of course, we can say law of consequences, but we are kind of good in understanding the word karma. And dharma was the letter D, is your life path, where you can kind of finding the best way of the things you have done in the past to correct them and to become more harmonious with the universe around you. So, and if the person acts in accordance with the principle of Rita, and that flows the path of karma, the person acquires good karma and destroys negative karma, and in the end goes outside of the scope or impact of karma. Again, in the very beginning, we need kind of some definitions that not right away explain the things, but imagine to tell if you are mom or dad, how to explain to the person, to the young people who don't have kids yet, that what does it mean to have kids, or what does it mean to fall in love if the person has never fallen in love, or to enjoy other enjoyments of life, or vice versa, to have some problems in the life that they have never been in touch with, and it's like when somebody has had a good meal, they don't and is having a good meal every day, they will not understand people who are quite hungry, right? So yeah, thing to think about. And yeah, so yoga is the way through the harmony of Rita to the freedom, because yoga is standing fully for our right to be free. Actually, this is the one of the few, maybe, or even the only one, the system that is trying to expand your freedom rather than taking freedom away from you. And we will talk about this as it goes on. So we talked about what is yoga, had a small definition about kindness, about being logic, about being ancient, and about being harmonious, about these two principles, about letting you go and forcing yourself, but again, feeling the joy from letting it go, or just being in an asana, or doing some practice, or also from overcoming yourself. And then nicely switching these two methods. And again, we touched the topic about of two systems of microcosm, macrocosm, that you are exploring not only yourself but also the universe around you. And there are ancient teachings explaining us what yoga really is, or what they have seen, because yoga is not some kind of artificial system. It has been given us by the real practitioners, and this wisdom has been collected all together and given to us. Only we have to understand it, and what we have to do to reach this harmony, to reach this super joy or ultra joy of essence of being, existence. We have to stop the formation of these parasitic thought forms that are coloring our mind. Remember Patanjali? And we have to be with this global, universal system of Rita, the concept of Rita, have to kind of catch it. And if we start following, catching these small things that are related to Rita, we follow our life path that is called karma. And again, the law of consequences, the causes and consequences is the law of karma. And our task, probably one of the tasks, is to avoid negative karma. We have to kind of give positive karma, avoiding rather than correcting what we have done in the past. And in the end, we, for the good things, we get good things, and from the bad, bad. And then we can kind of get out of this circle of karma and get in this universal Rita. This is the state of yoga. Okay? So far, so good? Okay. Have a small break and then we return.